Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Laststandgamers, and welcome. So today we're taking a look at the new update for Space Engineers, the Wasteland DLC. And as usual, they've released a little bit of free content, as well as some stuff that you have to pay for. Now, the paid for stuff, they've tried to balance it as best as possible, and it doesn't really give the player much more of an advantage than if you just had the vanilla blocks available to you. Let's start by looking right here. These are the most exciting parts, well, blocks you could say, of this update. Finally, we have a solution for them pieces of armor that we just don't have a block that fits. So we've got 11 new standard armor blocks. So these come in both light and heavy armor varieties, and it means we'll be able to fill them gaps in ships that we previously had some problems with. We've got inverted, we've got side slabs, and I'm pretty much looking forward to using this piece to fill some of the corners of some existing designs and get them looking just a tiny bit smoother. So they're the new blocks, very cool indeed. It'll be nice to see how the community develop the designs using them. Coming over here, we have the new textures. We're actually standing on the concrete one below, just having a look at the detailing on this one. It's not super heavily bit matted, but it's quite a cool concrete sort of texture with the cracks and the edges being ever so chipped. Over here, we have a sandy, dusty texture. So if I actually go Control P, oh, well, not Control P, Alt P, we can actually have a look at the new textures. So they're all represented by this wheel, this Wasteland wheel. So we've got the dust armor, we have got the concrete armor there, we've also got this heavy rust that I'll show you in a minute, and we have the retro future armor. So we'll have a look at that. So heavy rust, if you're like me, I love rust textures. Rust textures pretty much are on all my ships and vehicles, when I can get away with it, that is. But you can see the rust on the edge really eating away into that previous white paintwork on this particular one. And then the retro future, that's actually added like a grill onto this side, and over this side we've got some holes. It looks very similar to another texture, that just slightly different. Now the planet itself is pretty damn spectacular. So if I go onto my little menu here, we go to planets and we scroll down, we have Pertam, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correct, but that is this planet that we're actually on. We've got various different biomes. We've got everything from large sand dune areas like the area we're in. We've got high rocks, canyons, gullies, valleys, some sort of cool jutted sort of terrain as well. It's perfect for driving rovers over it. And I have to say, I even like how they flattened out the bottom of some valley areas so you could drive your rover in and out quite safely and really explore this planet in a wheel-based vehicle. That's kind of the feel I get for the whole design. So the next thing I wanted to quickly add is over here you can see the textures of the planet. We've got a variety of different sand, dusty terrain textures, different also rock levels as well. Very cool indeed. We've got the hydrogen tanks over here. So the hydrogen has seen a little bit of a rework. This is another important factor. They now have a larger capacity. That means you can run on hydrogen for longer, especially in the small ship designs. You're going to be running for a hell of a lot longer. Have a look inside there, count the volume, and you'll see that you have a drastic increase. Going to be cool. I don't know if it will be a really great idea to do so, because it might start putting the hydrogen ships on more power with the iron, but you can discuss that in the comment section. So coming over here, we're actually going to show off the new effect. We've got two dodgy Trader Joe vans. You'll know these from the Mad Aaron server if you played on it. So we've got the one on the left there, that's the old one, and we've got one that Conrad's nicely updated with the new blocks. So we've got the new off-road tyres that we'll take a look at. It's got lights, bumpers, and it's got some of the bar grill windows. It's also got some of the new exhaust block that we'll go and take a look at. But the main reason I wanted to hop in this and drive this over to the next area in here is because if you look behind, you'll see that there is tyre tracks given out by the vehicle. Now, doing some testing, I've not found that these actually disappear. I really hope they do, and I hope they don't take up too much performance either. But it is cool. It's a nice way of tracking a vehicle over various terrain. We'll pop that out there. Another thing I wanted to test was if the other vehicle, so this has got the old tyres, does it make a different tyre print? Oh, so it does. So there you go. You can see the old tyre next to the new tyre. That's a nice little detail that they've added there. And of course, larger tyres are going to make larger tyre prints. Very cool indeed. Nice that they've added details like that. Now, talking about details, coming into this section, we actually have a selection of these new exhaust blocks. So having a look at this, you've got the exhaust at the back, you've got some piping. some various different things that's feeding the exhaust. But these are more of an effect block. You could put this behind or under a block. You can have smoke, you can have electricity, you can have a giant flamethrower. Sadly, you can't crisp your fellow space engineers to death with it. You can have smoke, you can even have a reactor leak. So this would be cool in some scenarios as well to stimulate or simulate different sorts of problems aboard your ship. Now, over here, we do have ourselves some shelves. These are 3 in variety. There's 3 different options, you could say. We've got ones with rotors, power cells, all sorts of bits and bobs. We've got some coils on this one. The only thing I don't like about this is that some of the steel plates and the boxes stay the same color as the shelf. It'd be nice if they were different, so there's a bit more contrast with that particular shelf, but still cool. They look really nice in grey, or like metally grey colors, these shelves. Over here we have the new lights for the smaller Rover variety. So you can see we've got the front lights, that look pretty cool, and we've got the rear. The brightness of them is pretty much standard, so if I turn the time of day here, I've actually extended this one to the max range, but they can be used as a little bit of detailed lighting if you wished. Let me turn that button on and off. We can have a look at the headlight. The headlight seems to still run the mesh effect, even though there doesn't look like there's any mesh over it, but still very cool little blocks to experiment around with. And if we turn the time of day back to what it was before, we can head on over to the next block. So these are bar sort of grills, a bit of protection because, you know, them Wastelanders decide to throw some rocks at your car as it's passing or whatnot, but they'll make a great addition to any sort of ships and this sort of protective value that you can still see through. And what's really important is you can actually interact through these mesh windows like I did on that truck over here before, so you can access the cockpit, jump into that seat through the mesh windows. Now continuing along, we have the buggy cockpit. The buggy cockpit is pretty damn cool. It's got a roll cage built in. There's also some hidden features within the words you can see, just like the other cockpits. You can see this clang, the word there. You can say heal almighty, maybe almighty clang written in there. Some hidden features. You'll have to let me know if you've spotted them as well in the comment section. But you can see it can be placed in a variety of different angles, but you can't actually connect any blocks to the top of it. That's a little bit sad. You can connect a block there because it's connected to the base, but you'd have to wrap your block from the front and back. The front detailing is pretty cool as well, but you'd probably cover that up with various different things. So having a look over here, we have the window block. Now this is a new style of window, and it's actually half a block, so you can make a corridor between them. You can either make a narrow corridor or a wide one. Cool little feature with that. And it's just got so much detailing going on. The difference between them is this one has exposed pipes and this one's got a clear panel. Now a giant part, being quite literal here, is the tyres with this update. So these are the new off-road tyres. We drove over here with one of the Rovers that had them fitted, but these are actually airless tyres. They use a very, I wouldn't say advanced, but it's becoming more popular on farming and different sort of equipment today, but we can actually see straight through these. This makes me worry a little bit about performance. Is this taking up a lot of polygons? Are we going to see a bit of a frame rate drop with these over normal wheels? But you can see we've got this cool sort of bracket holding them in place. It's just damn awesome, isn't it? They've got the smaller wheel variety there, and we've also got this smaller one, but this one's a bit different because it's a bit wider. It's kind of got this like wider tread, almost like it's designed to cross sand or something similar. Still really cool designs. A DLC and an update that, to be honest, is pretty damn cool. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. In the description of this video, I'm also going to link 1 or 2 important links so you can read through all the fixes and changes. We've had a few fixes such as wheels not being able to be popped. Fingers crossed that's true. And there's a hell of a lot on the multiplayer side as well. But I'm going to dive a little bit further into it and see how it affects our servers. Anyway, let's thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.